Our slogan is be the change where you go, because we want people to have a different kind of tourism. You travel and you understand the values and the identity of the cities where you go, and you travel with respect of the environment, of the society, of all the context.
Alessandro, you're the general manager of FairBnb. Can you do to start a short presentation of what is FairBnb?
FairBnb is a cooperative that was created in 2018 by a nice group of startuppers, young startuppers, that they found to have a common idea about changing the paradigm of tourism as it's been in the last year, changed by the over-tourism phenomenon, in particular by the consequences of digital platforms to allow people to rent for a touristic reason apartments, their apartments in towns, making good profit, changing their life, but creating big issues to all our cities, to all our countries, and also outside. Because over-tourism today means that people that live in their cities are not able to rent the house to live for workers, for students, for families. And this is going to dramatically change our lives and our cities, because people were pushed to live outside the historical centers of many towns. Those become completely property of tourists, and this changed also shops, commercial activities, initiatives, and basically this is a huge problem that no one, and neither the politics, has been able to face, to cope with. And so we are here to fight again the consequences of over-tourism and to make people change the way they travel.
Ethics, sustainability, and fair. Can you tell us a bit more about how, like concretely, you do that and you put that in place with the platform FairBnb?
Well, Rome wasn't built in a day, and revolutions usually should happen slowly, with time pass, even if you want to be more people involved. So basically we do the same business of our main competitors, those caused the over-tourism phenomenon. But the main difference is that the commissions, the fee that we get from selling our services, like the accommodation rental or the experience provided, basically are 15% is our basic percentage. Half part is a donation for social project of the territory where you travel. This is the first thing. And also, one fundamental aspect of Airbnb is that we create communities. We want people to come back, be the owner of their cities, their towns. And to do this, we need to be present in a territory. We need contacts from that territory. We need the people that know that lives in that land. And this creates opportunities for young or entrepreneurs to become partners of Airbnb and share the half part of the revenues of Airbnb. So basically, 3/4 of the revenues of the platform are redistributed to the territory of destination.
How does it work? Like, for example, here in Bologna, somebody has a flat and shares the values of FairBnb more than the competitors. How does it work?
The first rule of Airbnb is that if you want to be present on our platform, you accept to be checked by us, by our local representative, so as to verify that you are compliant with legal regulations and also with sustainability criteria, because we want our host to be part of a system that enrich sustainability or add to their accommodation important features, like, for instance, accessibility, which is very important. So basically, the first thing is that we check legal and sustainability compliance. The host not only has to subscribe to the platform, but also to accept this validation.
How can FairBnB really avoid that kind of over-tourism? I mean, okay, how can it stop it exactly?
Well, I said before that we have sustainability criteria other than legal criteria. The first idea from the beginning of FairBnB was to set the rule one host, one home. The main problem is that currently there are in all the cities many people that have a huge number of apartments and properties, and they do what they want. And this is a problem because if few people have a larger number of apartments, their behavior can affect the possibility for families, students, and workers to find an accommodation. And so our first rule is to allow people to be hosts, but only with the rule one host, one home. Because if you have more properties, but you dedicate one only to tourism, this is fair. This can help you for profit, but at the same time, other properties should be rented to families, citizens, and workers. And this is the main difference, of course.
And so I want to plan a trip that is fair. Well, I'm going to start by booking a train, of course, not a plane. And in which cities in Europe can I travel fair with FairBnB, for example?
In this moment, you can, for instance, try the most important capitals of Europe, like Paris, Lisbon, Barcelona, Rome. You can come here, of course, in Bologna. You can go to the Flanders region, for instance, in Belgium, or in Amsterdam. There are many destinations that now, with hopefully the end or the pause of the pandemic crisis, is going to be enriched with more hosts to offer the accommodation.
Via FairBnB, you're aiming to help and make grow communities and associations. Can you tell us maybe about an association that FairBnB is helping through the travelers that are coming and be hosting in a FairBnB space, flat house?
Well, I can make you many examples. Just one, for instance, in Bologna, we help an association that provides free legal assistance to every people with no home, shelter, people that has no shelter, no refugees, immigrants that needs to be helped to understand the best way to be engaged with our society. And so they have already received donations for their activities as the volunteers, because basically we are going to fund social projects in every local nodes, in every city where we are present. Those are selected by the territory, because the idea of having our agent there is that is someone that knows what are the needs and how sustainability can be addressed.
Do you think there is one message we haven't talked about and you want to talk about it?
Well, the idea of Airbnb is born connected directly to tourism. So change the paradigm of over-tourism, change the way you live your travels. Not going to be compulsive in choosing the first flight for 10 euros and then you create problem to environment and you create problem to territories. But there's something more. Behind we have the idea of the donuts economy. The fact that sustainability is a concept that should be part of everyday behavior of each of us. We want to help people by creating our communities to adopt new good practices of behavior day by day. Because we can change, we should be aware, like Greta Thunberg says, that we can change with our behavior if coordinated the way, the situation of our lives, starting from the environment, which is the roof under which we are living, but also considering the social impact of sustainability. Because sustainability means that we give right to people to live in the right way, a good way. And this is the very aim of our communities. Maybe we start today doing tourism business, but we will become something simply fair business in the future, because we want to spread values through our services.
What are the next projects for FairBnb coming?
Now, talking in general, we are also launching an important initiative for refugees, because you know, here in Bologna has born the idea to give an help to homeless people, which are increased after the pandemic situation. And this implies that maybe the idea of having tourists to donate money for social projects is not enough. Why don't we empower people of the city to help homeless people? And the solution is that we have many hosts that are suitable and wants to offer their home for people or families with problems and critical situations. And then we can habilitate people to make donation as you buy a little part of the costs that an host have to pay to give his home to people in condition of needs. And this idea, now that unfortunately we have the crisis in Ukraine, and many people, they talk about 1 million of people and more, are going to reach Europe as a safe place to be away from the war. FairBnb is launching an initiative for refugees by connecting NGOs, local authorities all around Europe, and creating a system to match the request for a shelter, for a home, where live with the family of the refugees, and hosts that are that would like to offer their home for this purpose. This is the last initiative we can talk about.
How can you resume FairBnb in one sentence?
It's a tool for let our lives coming back to reality and according to our feelings, our desires, our culture.
Thank you very much, Alessandro.
Thank you too.